She said, "Thank you for taking the time to read this email. I'm hoping you can help me. My boyfriend is an Adventist and he loves your YouTube channel. He watches it every day. Can you please make a video about the biblical view of fornication? Why sex and sexual intimacy is meant only for marriage? My boyfriend and I have different views on this, but I want him to have an understanding that fornication is more than just preparation and sex. I have looked, penetration, sex, I agree. I have looked all over YouTube to find SDA views and teaching about fornication, and I can't find anything at all. I will greatly appreciate your help, and I think it will listen to you. Thank you so much." So,
I think it's pretty sad that she couldn't find anything at all on YouTube about the SDA beliefs on sex.
that's crazy.
Sorry. That's just a thought.
We need a change has to come.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's certain topics that are
goodness.
just like not well
It's
addressed.
not, in the evidence.
Yeah.
Which I get it because we're not the kind of people who talk about every single subject, but I think this is a mistake, especially when it comes to this matter. I think, we should be.
Yeah, we should be talking about
we should be talking about that. So, you're going to approach this from different angles. But I know she's not talking about penetration in and of itself. So it could be kiss, it could be, simple touching and everything like that. That is part of fornication because it leads to that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And when your mind starts to go to a certain place,
Yeah.
it's just like what Christ said. If you think upon a woman, if you've lusted for her,
in your heart.
in your
true.
heart, then you've already done the deed, right? Because so the thoughts, so as a man thinketh, so is he. So it is beyond penetration. It is beyond the act of intercourse.
Yeah.
For sure. And I know she appreciates that her boyfriend listens to you, so I'm going to let you talk about it.
Well, I like the text that you just quoted here, but there's several ways you can go about it. It says, "You have heard them say the whole time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman and lusts after her have committed adultery already with her in his heart." So he's beyond just the touch and the actual doing. As a matter of fact, fornication goes as deep. Actually, the word adultery here and the word lusteth here is pornography when you actually looked it up. So it could just be from lusting in the image that you watch and picture. And the world is flooding us with that stuff, So the decision goes beyond that. So this could also include masturbation as well. It could also include, especially when it is done in certain areas. Like, anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. But the point is, pornography is included in here. Adultery is in here. And also fornication could all be included in this text. So this area, this subject here, I had found a website where they had some really good question, right? What does the Bible say about fornication? And by the way, God question, guys, is a good place to get a lot of answers to your Bible. For example, you can go there and just look any subject and it's all over the place. I mean, any subject. Now, not everything is perfect. This is not a Seventh-day Adventist website. But they done a good job. Like you can get an app on your phone, anything that has to do with Christianity, the Bible, history, and stuff like that. They got it all figured out in this website. So there's a lot of things here that I think is worth sharing. I'm gonna link this in the description of this video when we do the edit. I will say if you're dealing with that, here is the word I was telling you about. The Greek word fornication, porneia, is the word pornography. There it is right there. So it's often linked to adultery in the Bible. So it's a good study. But
Go up to the top where it gives a nice, clear definition.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fornication is the term used in the Bible for any sexual misconduct or impure sexual activity that occurs outside of the bounds of a marriage covenant. Fornication is also applied symbolically in the Bible to the sins of idolatry, apostasy, or the abandoning of God.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a really nice, clear,
Yeah.
like any sexual misconduct. It's not just the act of penetration.
Yeah. No. By the way, no condemnation here. We all have our past. Or I'm simply saying, from a Christian perspective, the counsel is clear. Here's the solution to fornication. By the way, guys, there's no other solution. The major solution is this. Nevertheless, actually, I can give you another one. To avoid fornication, so to avoid it, what must we do? let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
Well, my advice to her boyfriend was going to be, listen,
Yeah.
if you don't have the money for the lavish wedding that you're looking forward to,
Yeah.
go to the justice of the peace.
Yeah.
Get married, make it legal, make it covenant with God.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
not just legal, because a lot of things are legal, but still
Doesn't mean they're right. Yeah.
covenant with God. So, and
Yeah.
have your plan for your wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and prayerfully, of course.
Prayerfully,
Now
yeah.
this is
Get
me
counsel.
saying, make sure you've got your marriage counseling and all those
Yeah.
things in order before you go
Presumably.
and marry someone, because it's so important to put God in the midst of those big decisions. What do they say? Pray, like if you normally pray twice a day, you need to pray 3 times more if you're about to make a major decision. So
right.
if you normally pray twice a day, you would pray, would it be 6 or 8 times?
Yeah. Multiply that by 3.
Multiply that
Yeah.
by 3. So you would want to make sure that you are really saturating yourself in prayer before you make any decision, such as marriage. But
Yeah.
yes, fornication.
Yeah. The Bible tells us we need to flee from it. You know, we
Yeah.
have to flee like Joseph fled from
Yeah.
Potiphar's wife. And
Praise
it's
the
okay
Lord.
to leave your jacket behind. Your special coat could be left behind for evidence, but at least you fled. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
And if you understand, sinning against your own body,
That's
like how does that?
I mean, it
Dig
really,
into that.
Oh, you know, it's just it destroys the soul. It
Yeah, your
destroys-
own soul, like
Yeah.
that peace, that stuff. Like sometimes some things affect like your mind or affect some, but this is like it cuts to your very identity, the very
oh, yeah.
core of who
It
you
destroy-
are.
It destroys you from the very inside.
Yeah, it's like a cancer.
It's a very, very dangerous tool. Yeah. So to the young lady again, if he's a Seventh Adventist, so you guys got a decision to make, big decision to make with your parents, with the Lord, with prayer and discussion. I think it might be time to think about wedding or marriage. We know it's not always possible, but also get the counsel from the church and everything that you need to do. But as far as the boyfriend is concerned, and if you do listen to me, I say you need to flee from this. Here is what history have shown.
And it's not to
When-
say that he's fornicating. She's
No, he's
asking
not
a question.
saying
They have
that.
different viewpoints.
Yeah, but he
so
can
when you're
lead.
saying flee from it,
Yeah,
we don't
flee
know
from the
what's
very
happening with that.
temptation
Yeah.
that might lead to it. So oftentimes it can destroy what even the possibility of the wedding. This could destroy even where things are gonna go in that relationship before you guys have a chance to go any further. So just be aware of that.
It can also create like a turmoil in your marriage, because when you do things like that, and then if you know that was the person you're supposed to marry, now you have added a I don't know how to explain it, like David, right? Like there was so much unrest in his house.
Yeah.
And so like the plan still went forth, but now there was just this, what would you term that? There was
Turmoil.
this turmoil because of decisions that he made that went against God's moral law. And I think like when you think of the soul is the mind, the will, and
Yeah.
what is it? The mind, the will.
It could be the mind, the will, the life. It could be a lot of things. Yeah.
But there's like 3 components of like your soul, and all of those things just affect how you view God, how you view yourself, how you receive God. So like the way you think, your will, the mind, the will, and then I can't remember what the third one was, but it's just like when you look at that, if sinning against your own soul, against your own, and you see the magnitude of what that means to you and your identity, it's just, it's flee of any thought of it, and really dig deep and do a study.
Yeah.
Do a study together, and ask a spiritual leader to do a deep study on fornication.